Sunday morning. Welcome into Weekend Recharge. I'm LaRosa.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Millions of you are waking up to spine-tingling temperatures again this morning.
Oh, again this morning, we hit some record lows in the Northeast.
Yeah, perhaps you don't want to get out of bed right. It was going to be this cold this quickly.
Oh, well, I think part of the problem is we didn't have that transition, right? We were looking at record highs this time last week in places, so now that are now seeing the record lows. So that is a big part of it. So where do we stand today? Well, let's get you ready for the week ahead with your Sunday snapshot, the big stories that we're covering for you. We still have high pressure in the east. It's cool, but we're going to see that sun continue. That's not the case from the Mississippi Valley to the Ohio Valley, back through the Red River Valley and the Gulf Coast. So we'll track some of the rain and talk about if there's going to be any of that mixing, because of course it is cold, temperatures here into the 30s. But the other big part of the story, where it's warm, it's squished way to the south. So we'll talk about some of that temperature recovery, Paul.
Cold, miserable rain there, Maria. And that's the thing. I mean, the cold air is here. We're waiting for fall temperatures, and it's here, and it's going to stick around for a while.
I think some of those people would be asking for snow at this point. Yeah. You know, 30s and rain, that's something. But we've got 30s and some sun in the Northeast. So believe it or not, as cool as it feels, and as we set some of the records this morning, we're a good 10, 15 plus degrees warmer than we were just 24 hours ago. So we're already starting to see that uptick, waking up to 37 degrees right now in New York City. We're out of the teens and into the 20s now in Binghamton. You're 9 degrees warmer than you were this time yesterday, 10 degrees warmer in Buffalo than you were 24 hours ago, even Boston warmer than we were this time yesterday. So we are on the up and up. Afternoon high temperatures, 44 Boston, we've got 42 in Buffalo, 46 in Pittsburgh. We're heading towards 50 in Washington, D.C. We'll be there tomorrow. This is a little bit more in line with what is average for this time of year, but even with this, I'll use air quotes, warm up, it is still going to be below average. But again, if you have to be out and about, it really is going to be some nice, cool, crisp fall mornings and fall days ahead in through the Northeast. So New York, your average high this time of year is 55, and you can see we're kind of slow and steady this week, and finally getting closer to average there by the end of the week. But what about next? Well, you know, cities in the Midwest like Cleveland and Chicago already brushing off their first snow of the season. Astute Weather Channel watchers noticed some fine-tuning in the season's winter forecast. The bottom line, make things easier to understand. Winter storm expert Tom Nizzle breaks down the changes. Cold-hearted Snake will warm up a little bit. By the way, if you've been keeping track of the playlist, just 40 minutes into the show, we've had Paula Abdul, Game of Thrones, and Madonna. And Casey and the Sunshine Band. Amazing playlist this morning. Thanks to our wonderful producer, Lisa Watkins. All right, Wednesday's feeling like fall, but we have had that chance to recover a little bit. Those temperatures more like into the upper 40s along that I-95 corridor. That's our first real chance to get a taste of what is average fall, right? We went from almost late summer to, say, early winter, and now this is more like fall. So Syracuse, New York, your trend here. Average high this time of year, right about 50 degrees. You see, it's going to take you a little bit more time to get to that average, but you can see maybe some snow showers mixed in on Monday with your highs only into the 30s. But then by Thursday with your highs in the low 40s, it's more like that chilly rainfall, and then that wind and the chill on Saturday. Now we take a look at Philadelphia. Your average high is 58 degrees, and you see it does. We take little baby steps here, and we do manage to get into the mid and upper 50s through the week with some sunshine and, relatively speaking, a dry week ahead. And then we get to next weekend, and we've got the showers. So again, keep in mind, is that your travel weekend for the holiday? That'll be a big one. DC, the same deal. Average high 59 degrees, and you see we get close, baby steps, but eventually some of that wet weather makes its way in. Not snowy weather, at least not just yet.
All right, let's talk about snow right now, because a lot of skiers and snowboarders, oh, they're itching to get to the slopes across the Northeast and New England. Mount Snow Resort in southwestern Vermont open for the season this weekend.
I think they're talking about you. You're just itching. Can't wait. Let's check in with Eric Barnes. He's the general manager at Mount Snow and joins us from West Dover, Vermont. Eric, great to see you. Good morning. This is amazing to see the skiing and the skiers lined up.
I didn't think, we weren't going to say anything because, again, they were on top, and we don't want to mess anything up, but they messed it up themselves.
Oof. All right, well, let's talk NFL. We got Go Pack Go and Go go inside from the rain. My goodness, 30s, 100% chance of rain. That's about as sure as you can get.
Yeah, Green Bay has their quarterback issues, so unfortunately the Chicago Bears, this normally would be a great game, but it might not be. Kind of one-sided most likely. And the weather not helping, so perhaps a lot of empty seats there because it's just a rough day.
Right.
Meanwhile, I showed you a live shot in Buffalo.
Right.
It's just kind of a solidly cold day as the surprisingly 6-2 Saints come in.
There you go. All right. We want to leave you this hour. Stick around, though. We've got another hour of Weekend Recharge, actually 2.
2 more.
Let's take you to the Sunday sunrise. Thank you, viewers.